My sister screamed, "You're choosing property over family. It's just normal wear and tear from my wedding, insurance will cover it, and stop being dramatic." So I sent her the $31,847 repair bill. Hey wonderful people, click the subscribe button to become part of our family, and let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. With that said, let's get into today's story. My sister's voice dripped with honey sweetness over the phone. "Emma, please? It would mean everything to have my wedding at the lake house. You know how special that place is to our family." I should have said no right then. But standing in my downtown office, looking at my calendar showing 3 upcoming rental bookings I'd have to cancel, I felt that old familiar pull. The need to be the good sister. The responsible one. The one who sacrificed. "Okay, Madison," I heard myself say. "But you'll need to cover the cleaning deposit and insurance, and please be careful. That's my business, not just a vacation spot." "Of course. We'll leave it better than we found it, I promise." Oh my God, Emma, you're the best sister ever. I'm literally crying right now. Derek is going to be so happy. Derek. The finance bro fiancé who'd convinced Madison to have a rustic luxury wedding with 200 guests. At my lake house. That normally rented for $15,000 per week during peak season. I'm Emma Richardson, 34 years old, and I own lakefront property that's been my primary income source for the past 5 years. After my divorce left me with nothing but debt, I'd bought this rundown cabin with my settlement and renovation loan, spending 3 years turning it into a premier event venue. My hands built the pergola where couples exchanged vows. I personally restored the vintage chandelier in the great room. I planted every flower in the garden, replaced every floorboard, painted every wall. This wasn't just property. This was my resurrection. Madison knew this. She'd watched me work weekends, skip vacations, pour every dollar back into the business. She'd even helped paint the guest rooms one summer, though she complained the entire time about ruining her manicure. But she was my baby sister. And after Mom died 2 years ago from breast cancer, I'd promised to look after her. Mom's final words echoed constantly, "Take care of Maddie. She's not as strong as you." So I cancelled 3 bookings, $45,000 in lost revenue, and blocked out the week before and after Madison's wedding for setup and recovery. "You're making a mistake," my best friend Tasha warned over coffee. She'd known me since college, watched my marriage collapse, celebrated when I bought the lake house. Madison's never been grateful for anything in her life. Remember when your mom paid for her entire college and she complained about the meal plan? This is different. It's her wedding. Exactly. Which means the drama will be nuclear, not regular. I dismissed her concerns. Family was family. The contract I drew up was simple. Madison would pay $3,000 for cleaning and minor wear. She'd provide proof of event insurance. Guest count capped at 150. No smoking indoors. No moving furniture. No decorations that required nails or adhesive. Professional catering only, no DIY food prep that could damage the kitchen. Madison signed without reading it. "You're so paranoid. We're not going to trash the place. It's my wedding, not a frat party." 2 weeks before the wedding, she called with tiny changes. "So Derek's college friends are coming, and it's more like 220 people now. But that's fine, right? There's so much outdoor space. Madison, the septic system is rated for 150 people maximum. And the parking. Emma, please don't make this difficult. It's my wedding. Can't you just be happy for me?" The guilt landed like a punch. "Fine. But you need to arrange shuttle service from the main road. There's no way 220 people can park on the property." "Totally. Derek's handling all that." Derek, I would learn, handled nothing. The wedding week arrived like an invading army. Madison and her bridesmaids descended on Tuesday for prep time. I'd taken the week off from my consulting job to help coordinate. Day 1, they rearranged all the living room furniture to create a lounge vibe. Moved my custom-made dining table into the garage. Removed artwork from walls to hang fabric draping. Maddie, the contract says no moving furniture. Oh my God, Emma, we're not damaging anything. We're making it beautiful. Why are you being so controlling? Her maid of honor, an influencer named Brittany, smirked. Some people just can't handle not being the center of attention. I let it go. Pick your battles, I told myself. Day 2, a truck arrived with rental items. Not the approved rental company I'd recommended, some discount place Derek found online. They drove across my lawn, leaving deep tire tracks. Set up a massive tent without ground protection, stakes driven straight through my irrigation system. Madison, they just destroyed the sprinkler lines. That's what contractors are for. You can fix it after. This is my wedding, Emma. Can you please stop looking for problems? Day 3, the small bachelorette party involved 30 women, a stripper, and enough wine to stock a restaurant. Someone vomited in the master bedroom. Someone else fell through the deck railing, the one I just had rebuilt for $8,000. Cigarette burns appeared on the porch furniture. Girls gone wild. Madison posted on Instagram, tagging my business account. Best sister ever letting us destroy this place. My stomach dropped. That post would be seen by future clients. Can you delete that? I asked carefully. The destroy part makes it sound. It's a joke. God, when did you become so uptight? Mom would want me to enjoy this. Invoking our dead mother. A new low. Day 4. I discovered they'd been using my premium linens as drop cloths for craft projects. Glitter and hot glue everywhere. My kitchen looked like a Pinterest board exploded. The vintage chandelier, my pride and joy, had been decorated with hanging crystals glued directly onto the original fixture. Madison, that chandelier is an antique. Those glue marks can be cleaned. Emma, seriously, I need you to be supportive right now. I'm stressed enough without you criticizing every little thing. Derek arrived Thursday with his groomsmen. 12 men who treated my property like a personal playground. They drove ATVs across the lawn, more destroyed landscaping, had a bonfire that scorched the stone patio, and played beer pong on my custom wood bar, leaving rings and dents. I took photos of everything. Documentation, I told myself. Just in case. Friday, the rehearsal dinner, Madison hired a cheap catering company that wasn't licensed for the county. They set up propane burners inside, a massive fire hazard. Grease splattered across my commercial kitchen. The fire marshal could have shut down my entire business if he'd seen it. Maddie, this isn't safe. They need to cook outside or the food is fine. Emma, I swear, if you ruin one more moment of my wedding week, I'm never forgiving you. Tasha texted, get out. Come stay with me. This is abuse. But I stayed. Because Mom asked me to take care of her. Because family doesn't abandon family. Because I was stupid. Saturday. The wedding day. I woke at 5 a.m. to find someone had used my antique clawfoot tub to chill champagne bottles. The porcelain was cracked. Water damage had seeped through to the floor below. Madison was unmoved. Insurance will cover it. Stop being dramatic. The ceremony itself was beautiful, I'll admit. The gardens I'd planted made a stunning backdrop. Madison looked radiant. For 2 hours, I almost forgot my mounting dread. Then came the reception. 220 guests became 280. People I'd never seen before flooded the property. The catering staff, now overwhelmed, started using my personal dishes when they ran out of rentals. Derek's college band set up without asking. Speakers cranked so loud my neighbors 3 properties down texted complaints. The custom bar I'd built became an impromptu dance platform. I watched in horror as drunk groomsmen jumped on it, spilling drinks, the wood cracking under their weight. Hey, get down from there. A groomsman sneered at me. Who's the fun police? Madison, your sister's freaking out again. Madison stumbled over, clearly drunk. Emma, just Just go inside or something. You're killing the vibe. This is my property. They're destroying. One night. I ask for one night where everything isn't about you and your precious lake house. Her voice carried across the party. You're so jealous I found someone and you're divorced and alone that you can't even let me be happy. The crowd went silent. 150 faces turned to stare at me. I felt heat flood my cheeks. Derek wrapped his arm around Madison. Babe, let's not engage with negative energy on our special day. I walked to my car and sat there for 2 hours, hands shaking, tears streaming. Tasha called 3 times. I didn't answer. At midnight, I returned. The party was still raging. I found a couple having sex in my bedroom. Someone had vomited down the staircase. The vintage chandelier lay shattered on the floor, someone had swung from it. My beautiful chandelier. The one I'd found at an estate sale, restored by hand, wired myself. Gone. I took pictures of everything. Every broken dish, every stain, every crack, every burn mark, every piece of ruined furniture. I documented it all with timestamps and detailed notes. Sunday morning, I arrived at 6 a.m. to assess the damage. It was worse in daylight. The hardwood floors I'd refinished myself were gouged and stained. The deck railing was destroyed. The kitchen had a small fire damage area where someone had left a burner on. My antique furniture was broken or missing. The pergola had a collapsed beam. The lawn was torn up from vehicles and foot traffic. Graffiti covered the bathroom walls. Someone had carved initials into my custom dining table. I sat on what remained of my porch and calculated $30,000 minimum to repair everything. Probably closer to $40,000 for full restoration. Madison emerged around noon, hungover and dismissive. It's really not that bad. You're exaggerating. Maddie, look around. Just look. She glanced around with disinterest. It's normal wear and tear. Venues expect this. Normal wear and tear. They broke my chandelier, destroyed the floors, damaged the kitchen. You're being so dramatic. A little cleaning and it'll be fine. Honestly, Emma, this is why no one likes being around you. You make everything about money. My mouth fell open. This is my business. My livelihood. You make good money at your consulting job. You don't even need this place. You're just being petty because you can't stand seeing me happy. Derek appeared, looking annoyed. Are you seriously harassing my wife about this? On the morning after our wedding? Your wedding destroyed my property. Send me a bill for actual damages. Not your inflated tantrum prices. He guided Madison toward their car. We're going on our honeymoon, Madison called back. We'll deal with this when we get back. If you can be reasonable. They drove away, leaving me standing in the ruins of my dreams. I called my insurance company first. The agent was sympathetic but clear. Since this was a personal arrangement with your sister, not a business rental, your commercial policy may not cover it. And your personal policy has a $5,000 deductible with exclusions for intentional acts by invited guests. Next, I called 3 contractors. All gave estimates between $28,000 and $35,000. Then I called my lawyer, Patricia Chen, who handled my business formation. She listened to everything, reviewed my photos and the signed contract. You have a solid case. Small claims court caps at $10,000 in this state, so you'd need to file in civil court for the full amount. That means more legal fees but also more recovery options. Will I win? With this documentation? Absolutely. But Emma, winning a judgment and collecting it are different things. Is your sister employed? She's a social media manager. Makes decent money. Good. Because if she doesn't pay voluntarily, we can garnish wages. But be prepared, she's going to make this ugly. It's already ugly. I texted Madison, damage assessment complete. Total repairs, $31,847. This needs to be handled before I can accept new bookings. Please call to discuss payment plan. Her response came 3 hours later. Are you insane? I'm not paying that. You're trying to scam me. This is extortion. Me. I have 3 independent contractor estimates. I'll send them to you. This is real damage that requires real repairs. Madison, you're a terrible sister. Mom would be ashamed of you. That line gutted me. But I pressed forward. Over the next week, I sent her the estimates, the photos, copies of the signed contract. She responded with accusations. You planned this to ruin my marriage. You're jealous and bitter. You're making up damages. Everyone knows you're petty. When she returned from her honeymoon, I asked to meet in person. She agreed, bringing Derek and, surprisingly, our Aunt Linda, Mom's sister. Emma, Linda said carefully. Madison explained the situation. Don't you think you're being unreasonable? Families don't sue families. Families don't destroy each other's livelihoods. It's just property, Derek interjected. You're choosing stuff over your sister. I laid out the photo documentation. The before and after pictures. The contractor estimates. The signed contract Madison had violated. Aunt Linda's face paled. Oh, Maddie. This is really bad. It's exaggerated. Madison insisted. She's using expensive contractors to inflate the costs. My friend could fix most of this for like $5,000. Then get me 3 estimates from licensed contractors, I said evenly. If they're significantly lower, we'll use those numbers. I'm not doing your homework for you. Madison, you broke the contract. You caused significant damage. I'm asking you to take responsibility. You're asking me to go into debt right after my wedding. How is that fair? How is destroying my business fair? Derek stood abruptly. We're done here. You want to be petty? Fine. Sue us. But don't expect to be part of this family anymore. They left. Aunt Linda lingered. Your mother would want you to forgive her. Mom also taught me not to let people walk all over me. She built her whole business from nothing after Dad left. She'd understand protecting what's yours. This will split the family. Then the family was already broken. I filed the lawsuit the next day. Civil court, $31,847 in damages plus court costs and attorney fees. The family explosion was immediate. Aunt Linda called every relative, painting me as a monster who was destroying a newlywed couple over minor damages. Madison posted on Facebook, devastated that my own sister is suing me over normal wear and tear from my wedding. She offered to host out of love. Now she's demanding tens of thousands of dollars. Family should support each other, not attack during vulnerable times. Please keep Derek and me in your prayers. The post got 200 sympathetic comments. People who didn't know the full story or didn't care rushed to condemn me. My cousin Rachel called. Emma, what the hell? Suing Madison? Over a party? She caused $30,000 in damage. She's family. You work this out, you don't involve lawyers. I tried working it out. She refused. Because your demands are insane. I saw the pictures she posted. It's just some scratches and stains. She posted selective photos. I have documentation of everything. You're being vindictive because you're jealous. Everyone can see it. Click. She hung up. My Uncle Robert called, yelling before I could say hello. Your mother raised you better than this. Maddie made mistakes, but you're destroying her. Over money. Over my business that she trashed. Family comes before business. Always. Even when family destroys what you built. Yes. That's what family means. Sacrifice. I was done sacrificing. The court date arrived. Madison showed up with Derek, Aunt Linda, and a cheap lawyer who was clearly unprepared. My documentation was comprehensive. Photos with timestamps. Video footage from my security cameras, which Madison had apparently forgotten about. The signed contract. 3 contractor estimates. Lost booking revenue. Text messages showing Madison's refusal to take responsibility. Madison's lawyer argued it was a gift, that I'd offered the venue freely, that I was retroactively imposing charges. Patricia destroyed this argument with the signed contract and text messages where Madison acknowledged her obligations. The judge reviewed everything with visible displeasure. "Miss Richardson," he addressed Madison, "did you sign this contract?" "Yes, but I didn't think." "Did you read it before signing?" "Well, no, but..." "The contract is clear. You agreed to limit guest count, use approved vendors, and cover damages beyond normal wear. The photographic evidence shows extensive damage well beyond normal use." He turned to me. "Miss Richardson, your documentation is exemplary. I'm ruling in your favor for the full amount, $31,847 plus court costs of $3,200 and reasonable attorney fees of $8,000. Total judgment, $43,047. Madison burst into tears. "Your Honor, I can't pay that. We just got married. We have student loans. You should have considered that before violating the contract and refusing to negotiate repairs. Payment plan options will be provided." Court is adjourned. Outside the courthouse, Madison was hysterical. "You happy now? You've ruined my life. Destroyed my marriage before it even started. I asked you to pay for damages. You refused. Because it's insane. You're insane. A terrible, bitter, horrible sister." Aunt Linda hugged Madison. "This is on you, Emma. Your mother is rolling in her grave." That night, the family group chat exploded. I was removed from it within an hour, but not before seeing messages calling me evil, greedy, heartless, and cruel. My cousin posted on Facebook, "Standing with Madison Richardson against bullying disguised as business. Real family doesn't sue each other. Real family forgives. Praying for Madison and Derek during this attack." I was tagged. Comments poured in from people I'd known my whole life, condemning me without knowing the facts. Tasha showed up at my apartment with wine and takeout. "You okay? I won the case and lost my family. Emma, look at me. You didn't lose your family. You escaped people who were using you. But Mom asked me. Your mom asked you to take care of Madison. Not to be her doormat. Not to sacrifice your entire life. Not to go bankrupt funding her irresponsibility." Tasha squeezed my hand. "You built that lake house from nothing. Your hands, your vision, your money. Madison destroyed it and felt entitled to do so. That's not family. That's abuse." I cried then. Really cried. For the family I thought I had. For the sister I thought Madison was. For the mother who'd asked the impossible. Patricia called with an update. "Madison hasn't made a single payment. We're filing for wage garnishment. Will it work? Her employer has to comply by law. We'll get $600 per month automatically deducted from her paycheck until the judgment is satisfied. It'll take about 6 years. 6 years of Madison hating me. 6 years of family accusations. 6 years of being the villain. The garnishment order processed. Madison's response was a text from a number I didn't recognize. "I hope you're happy destroying my life. Every month when I see that money taken from my paycheck, I'll remember what a selfish monster you are. You'll die alone and no one will care." I blocked the number. The family fallout intensified. Thanksgiving came. I wasn't invited to Aunt Linda's traditional gathering. Christmas, same silence. My birthday passed without a card from a single relative. I threw myself into repairs. It took 4 months and $34,000, costs had increased, to restore the lake house. Every night I worked until my hands bled, repairing floors, repainting walls, replacing fixtures. Tasha helped when she could, bringing coffee and encouragement. "You're building something beautiful. Not just the house, your boundaries." Other friends rallied too. My college roommate flew in for a weekend to help garden. My coworker spent his vacation days installing the new deck railing. My divorce attorney, now friend, hired professional cleaners as a gift. These are your people, Tasha said, gesturing to the group working on my dream. Not the ones who demanded you sacrifice everything. The lake house reopened in spring. My first clients were a couple who'd been following the drama on social media. We read about what happened, the bride said. How you stood up for your business. It made us want to book with you. Someone who values what they've built will value our special day too. Bookings exploded. Apparently, my stand had resonated with people tired of entitled family members. My story went semi-viral in wedding planning communities. The venue owner who sued her sister became oddly inspirational. You showed people it's okay to have boundaries, one blogger wrote. That family doesn't mean accepting abuse. Revenue doubled that year. I hired staff, expanded services, raised prices. The lake house became one of the premier venues in the state. Madison, meanwhile, struggled. The garnishment strained her marriage. Derek resented the reduced income. They had to postpone buying a house. Their social media posts grew bitter, subtle digs about greedy people and fake family. She called once, number unknown, at 2 a.m. Emma. It's me. Silence. Derek wants a divorce. He says the garnishment is embarrassing. That I should have just paid you from the start. Her voice cracked. Were you right? Was I wrong? Part of me, the sister who'd loved her, protected her, sacrificed for her, wanted to say it was okay. To forgive everything and rebuild. But I thought about Dr. Morrison, the therapist I'd been seeing. About her words, forgiveness doesn't require reconciliation. You can release anger without restoring access. Madison, I hope you figure things out. I really do. But I can't be part of your life right now. Because of the money? Because you've never once apologized. Never acknowledged what you did. You're only calling because you're facing consequences, not because you recognize the harm. I'm your sister. Sisters don't destroy each other's dreams and then play victim. I love you, but I don't like who you've become. Maybe distance will help you grow. I hung up. Aunt Linda reached out a year later, after Madison's divorce finalized. Emma, your sister is struggling. She needs family support. She has family. She has you, Uncle Robert, all the cousins who took her side. We were wrong. I see that now. The way she's handled her divorce, blaming everyone but herself. I see patterns we enabled. I'm glad you recognize that. Will you talk to her? Help her? No. But family is people who support you, respect you, and take responsibility for their actions. Blood doesn't automatically qualify. Your mother is gone. And I spent years trying to honor what I thought she wanted. But I don't think she'd want me to destroy myself for someone who won't even acknowledge wrongdoing. I built a new family. Tasha, who'd stood by me through everything. Mark, my college friend who helped with renovations. Jennifer, my therapist turned friend. The staff at my lake house who respected what I'd built. Clients who became friends. A community of people who valued reciprocity, respect, and responsibility. 3 years after the wedding, I received a letter. Madison's handwriting. Emma, I've been in therapy. Learning about narcissistic behaviors, enabling accountability. I'm not asking for forgiveness or relationship. I just wanted you to know I finally understand what I did. You didn't ruin my wedding or my marriage or my life. I did. By refusing to take responsibility. By expecting you to fund my dreams while destroying yours. By weaponizing family love to get what I wanted. The lake house was never just property. It was your resurrection after divorce. Your proof that you could build something beautiful. And I trashed it literally and figuratively because I was jealous. Because you succeeded where I failed. Because hurting you made me feel powerful. I'm paying the garnishment voluntarily now. Double payments when I can. Not because I have to, but because I want to. It's the least I owe you. You were right to cut me off. I wasn't family. I was a parasite. I hope someday, maybe years from now, I'll be someone worth knowing again. But I understand if that day never comes. I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. Madison. I cried reading it. Not sad tears, releasing tears. The kind that wash away the last residue of guilt and pain. I didn't respond. Maybe someday I would. Maybe not. The point wasn't reconciliation. It was peace. I stood on my lake house deck that evening, watching the sunset paint the water gold. The same water that had witnessed my destruction and rebuilding. The same property that had taught me the difference between family and exploitation. Tasha joined me, handing me a glass of wine. You good? Yeah. Actually, I am. The lake house looks perfect. It does, doesn't it? We clinked glasses. I'd lost the family I was born into. But I'd found the family I chose. And in that choice, I found myself. The lake house stood strong not despite what happened, but because of it. Every repaired board, every new fixture, every restored piece was a testament to boundaries, self-respect, and the courage to say no. Madison was right about one thing. Mom would have had feelings about this. But I finally understood that living for Mom's approval or anyone's approval was another form of cage. I was free now. Free to build, to grow, to protect what I created. Free to define family on my own terms. Free to be enough, exactly as I was. The lake house lights twinkled in the dusk. Inside, a new couple was touring for their wedding. Outside, my chosen family gathered for dinner. This was my legacy. Not the one I was born into, but the one I built. And it was beautiful. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your experiences. Have you ever had to choose between family loyalty and protecting what you built? Have you lost relationships by setting boundaries? Tell me your story below. You're not alone. Sometimes the family you choose is stronger than the family you're born into. And sometimes protecting your dreams means walking away from people you love. That's not selfish, that's survival.